So I recorded this video already, except it was 30 minutes long, and it was mostly me complaining about Patrik Laine and the shortcomings of our second line. So I said, hey, that does not represent the brand of the channel. I don't want that. I don't like that. Although I did promise you guys that I would do a stream of consciousness type video. I'm going to try it again. And this is initially for members only, but I'm going to eventually make it available for everyone. Let's talk about it.
You're going for a leader. You're going for a leader.
So a week ago, I put up a video and it was called I Have Opinions. And it mostly talked about, the trades and free agency with the Montreal Canadiens. Who's staying, who's leaving, who did we get? And it was done positively, but I kind of kept alluding to the fact that I have more on my mind than what I'm saying. And I said I would do a video kind of explaining that. So this is it. But what's great is I've had a little bit more time to think about it, and my impressions have changed a little bit. Yes, I do still think that there's holes, but I'm not as worried about the team offensively as I am about the team defensively now. I think it slaps you in the face, and it's most apparent that, there's problems with the offensive line. The true 2C conversation, it's haunting us a little bit, right? That's fair. But what I didn't consider is that our defensive pairings, they're extremely balanced in terms of offense. Matheson is excellent offensively. Noah Dobson is still an up-and-comer, but has proven to be in the top, the top 20 last year in terms of offensive production. It might even be the top 10, I'm not sure. And I'm talking about 23-24, not 24-25. And then finally, Lane Hutson, we all know what's going on there. Calder, winner, led all rookies in terms of point production in 24-25 and was hanging with the best of them defensively in terms of point production. Did he finish in top 10? I'm pretty sure he finished in the top 10 as a rookie. So weirdly, I think that our defense is going to prop up our offensive lines, and maybe things will happen in that way. Before I go any further, hit that subscribe button. We're so close to 15,000 subscribers. I can taste it as of recording this video. I don't know about editing, but we're like 320 subscribers away. That's bonkers. I saw that Hockey Junkie hit 50,000 subscribers. Congratulations, Hockey Junkie. He gave me a shout out in the video. I really appreciate that, bud. And I let him know on Twitter how happy I was for him, but also that I'm sure he's going to continue to grow and grow. Here's that clip if you haven't seen it. Hey bud, this one's for you. Just wanted to say congrats on that 50K. That's a big benchmark, and honestly, you deserve a ton more. You're such a good guy. Your stuff is so entertaining. Really, you bring something that, nobody else can do. And this great community loves you for it. I don't care what anybody says, even after that incident down at the Mary Brown Center. It was definitely your fault, but that guy deserved it. Anyway, you're a good guy. We're all sticking with you. Just waiting for you to hit that 100K. It'll come sooner than you think. Cheers. So getting back to the topic at hand here, if I'm not so worried about the offense, and I admit that our defensive pairings have improved, why am I worried about the defense? Well, like I said, they're balanced offensively. Defensively, I don't know. Say what you will about Lane Hutson, he does have some defensive holes. I think he is much better than the vast majority of rookies, even the vast majority of defensive-minded rookies in terms of defensive skills. He is vicious for the puck. He is trying to get the puck back, and he's relentless. But he does get overpowered at times. And if the puck finds its way in front of the net, that's when the alarms should sound. That's when red lights and sirens should go off, because he can get overpowered very, very easily there. Noah Dobson does have some shortcomings in terms of puck retrieval, but he does have very sound foundational defensive skills. Similar to, I would say, Struble in that way, except that when he does have the puck, he wants to keep it and handle it himself, and sometimes he can get himself into trouble, as many Islander fans have pointed out. There's a real, ex-girlfriend situation going on with the Islanders fans. They're all trying to say it's not us, it's him, and that the Montreal Canadiens were suckers for taking him on, and especially suckers for taking him on at the contract that was given to him. But Dobson is still young. He's learning, and personally, I think that he will adapt to the Montreal system really well. I still worry about support forwards that Dobson could have leaned on potentially, like Armia and Dvorak. But I feel like St. Louis will find a good middle ground to strike with Dobson initially anyway, in terms of sheltering him for less defensive-minded lines. For example, I think you'll be seeing Matheson and Carrier out on the sheet often when Laine is out there. At least maybe that's like second half of the season, or maybe even initially at the start when maybe Laine is paired with Kirby Dach and Ivan Demidov. Because as I kind of focused on too much in my previous video that I've deleted, Laine, Dach, and Demidov are not my idea of defensive-minded forwards, which can be dramatic on this team because Suzuki is such a strong two-way player. Jake Evans, very strong two-way player, maybe even more defensive than he is offensive. Armia and Dvorak were both excellent defensive forwards. Josh Anderson is really good at zone recovery, getting the puck out of the zone, out of the defensive zone. Newhook has some good sensibilities, and he's really strong on the forecheck. So there's going to be a balancing act, just like every year, right? I'm kind of famous for saying how the Montreal Canadiens had found the exact right composition of the team in order to be successful. There were a lot of role players, and it wasn't just the team playing a certain way that was the success. Their opponents are going to put out their top line. Okay, well, we're putting out our shutdown players. Their top two lines have become exhausted. Okay, let's put out an offensive line that might be a little bit weaker defensively. I can kind of imagine what this season is going to be. It's going to be a lot more balanced. So the decision from Martin St. Louis is going to be a lot more trial and error, I think, initially, but then will become more reliant on their style of play and less so matchups. It's truly going to be like a team effort. And I think that's exciting. And it's going to be something that's going to be an adjustment for us watching. And I think there might be some points of aggravation. I think we will see some defensive blunders, but maybe it's going to be less Mike Matheson pulling 25 to 30 minutes every game and more shared blame. I definitely am worried about how Dobson will be perceived by the fans if he does make mistakes from time to time, which everybody is apt to do. Because let's face it, he's getting paid a lot of money for this team. And if he's making mistakes, well, one blatant mistake, yeah, you can remember that. The second mistake, you're getting frustrated. And if it happens time and time again, we know, we've seen what this community can do. They get very on players. They get very targeted to one certain player. Matheson was often the pincushion. So I guess we'll just have to see. Like I say nearly every video now, again, patience. The start of the year, probably going to be pretty bumpy. Unless it's bumpy for every team, that would be good, because I don't know if you noticed, but everybody was buyers except for Pittsburgh Penguins this offseason. Everybody thinks that they're making the playoffs this year. And personally, I'm fine with Montreal not picking up anybody else before the season starts, because the pool is rather shallow right now. And once you see, those 16 teams that realize, hey, we loaded up, but we're not making it to the playoffs. Once you see those teams realize that, the market for selling is going to get saturated, and buyers, teams who have the capital, the assets, the prospects, cap space, they're going to be buying. And I think that's exactly what the Edmonton Oilers are doing right now. They're playing a skinny, lean roster in order to capitalize at the deadline, when all of these teams who have bought and aren't making it to the playoffs realize that they need to sell and they need to liquidate fast. That's just me. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I really appreciate all your support. You're obviously craving hockey content right now in the middle of July. I don't know if you're feeling like I am, but I feel like I'm going through withdrawals. I was watching the World Championships of field hockey the other day. Anyway, that's going to do it for me, guys. Like the video. It helps me out with search stuff in YouTube. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'd love to have you, and we're so close to 15,000. And as always, I will see you down in the comments.